shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshi takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshi show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshi. Wanna vote for Heshi? It's just enough Heshi. Join the crowd, it's messy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Just Enough Heshi show. Another Just Enough Heshi show.
Just enough for you.
How was my intro, Scott? Am I getting better, boy?
Actually, the timing was probably your best one in months.
Really? Okay.
It was better because you've had ones where you were discombobulated, your headphones were off.
Discombobulated.
That's the term they use, yeah. Football, they use it.
Well, I was taught today to look at the cameras, speak into the mic, and don't look at Tom.
You don't look at the camera?
I do. I love the camera.
I've never met a camera that you didn't like.
Did you like my cartoon?
Definitely. Are you?
With me holding the.
Are you going to be on Family Guy next season?
I don't know, because I know people said that, but also they're sending me cartoons with me standing with Sliwa, cartoons with the Three Musketeers, doing those guys there, Jaeger and thing. And we're going to talk about Zohan Mamdani.
Yeah.
And you know what?
What?
How you were all scared about Trump not being elected, Kamala got being elected, America going down. Now if Mamdani gets elected, first of all, here's the thing before we start our show. You are that scared, listeners. You are that scared, world. Don't worry. If I get into city council, Mamdani will have an enemy. He will have, maybe not the Democrats, but I will torture that man. He will not break the laws. He can't do whatever he wants. Even our president can, as you can see, the courts are always stopping him. And I have a lot of lawyers in city council. But even so, I will torture him on a personal level. That I promise you. So don't worry about New York City. If I get in, is safe. And I'm going to torture Mamdani. But I don't believe Mamdani is going to win.
We're going to talk about these polls. Because another poll just came out before we went on the air, and I don't know, Heshi. We'll have to talk about
you sent me those polls today. You were telling me all about it and reviewed it. I disagree with you on that, and it's a feeling. I know you said, Heshi, he's going to lose against Cuomo.
Well, you said last week on the show that you thought Cuomo was going to win, and he had it.
The reason why I thought Cuomo was going to win was because first of all, I did not want Cuomo to win, but I had no choice.
Oh, no, I understand.
And Cuomo, who's a Jew hater, I know what you people are going to say that he's not. He actually went on the Taylor papers and he said Mamdani won because of the Jewish young voters and the pro-Palestinians. It's not true. He didn't even get 14% of the Jewish vote, and those voters that he did get, half of them weren't even Jewish. They might have.
I think ultimately he didn't campaign. I mean, the man just didn't even get out there.
But he always blames the Jews. Cuomo is a Jew hater. He's a Jew murderer, what he did to our town. He blamed the Jews during COVID as well. This man does not belong in office under no circumstances. I think he's going to try to hold on to his money because somehow he gets in, and I believe that, I don't know. I don't want Cuomo there.
We're going to find out. I tell you what, we'll talk about this poll in a little while because the way it's going, these three candidates are going to split the vote.
You see how you're saying three candidates?
There's three of them.
What happened to Adams? You can't do that.
He's one of the three.
No,
he's one of the three outside of Mamdani. There's three candidates that are splitting the vote.
So you're saying Mamdani is the winner? I believe the three candidates are Mamdani, Cuomo, and Mamdani, Sliwa, and Cuomo.
Well, no, there's four. It's Mamdani, Sliwa, Cuomo, Adams.
Adams doesn't count. Then you might as well go with what's his name again?
No, he's at 1%. No, he's dead in the water. But there's
no way that he can come back with all the money he has.
No, there's four candidates right now. Three of them split the vote. And their vote is greater than mine. But we're going to talk about that, obviously, in a little while.
Right. Well, again, I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to tell you what you people should do. I've been going around telling people that they should vote for me.
Well, that's
again,
no
we're
question.
going to talk about Simcha Felder again. Another week of nowhere. He was supposed to show up at an event, and he didn't show up. I was supposed to show up at a baseball game yesterday.
Oh, the Hasatola place?
Right. And I was going to go, but Richie Taylor was there. I hear he's under investigation.
Who knows, really?
I
Who
know.
knows? Doesn't his wife work for Simca Felder too, right?
Really? I didn't know
think
that.
his wife was the chief of staff of Simca Felder. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
now I understand the whole game.
it's all how the game plays. But Heshi, since last week we didn't get this right, I want to make sure we get this right here, right now, because we are about to hit that 5-minute mark. And I want to say hello to our listeners out there who are about to come in on WSNR 620 AM, our flagship. Hello to you. I want to say hello to the legendary 1027 FM WNEW, of course, the former legendary rock and roll station, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And also our favorite place in Miami. Heshi always wants to be there year-round, except when he's in Borough Park. 1640 WJPR, beautiful Miami. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this week's action-packed episode of the Just Enough Heshi Show. And Heshi, you should be happy about the fact on my Instagram and Facebook page, which have 5,000 followers total combined, I went out there and told everybody I'm going to be on your channel.
Well,
so.
that's great. It's great. I also posted it all over, and I didn't finish posting it on my text, but we have a lot of things. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start our show.
All right.
But again, I want you to know you live in the greatest city in the world.
I agree about that.
You want to live in fear. Yes, we have murderers. We have rapists that get out from the immigrants. We have robbery. Everybody says crime is down, and it's not. It's not, The other day, some people wanted to enter a building, and we said, you can't enter the building. Oh, we're from the police. I said, listen, I don't care what your idea is, okay? You have to make an appointment when you go into a place. If you don't have a warrant, watch your rights. You have a right.
Yep.
Same way they took away, this week I was helping a young man that took 4 Xanax pills.
Oh, my goodness.
His brother got crazy.
I've
said
never
he
even
took
taken
30.
one.
Right, he took 30 pills, so they put him in the psych ward.
Oh,
I
God.
tried to get him out, and again, we gave his Bill of Rights, and the police came. I said, listen to me, guys. He says, I'm a police officer. I said, being a police officer does not give you the right to bully. We're giving you the privilege of serving us. That's what a police officer is. Don't think you're a bully. So I heard my friend George Sarangopoulos, who's running for
He used to be in this chair.
Right, he's running. So
For city council.
There's a recount for him.
Yes, they're
so
recounting
Stephen
ballots.
Chan, the senator,
Yes.
who shouldn't be showing up at some independent recount, went in there because the chairman asked him to come, so they started to cause trouble. This is a recount that's between 2 candidates. You don't need 500 people trying to fight.
So why
with each
was
other.
Senator
So
Steve
Senator,
Chan
I don't
there?
know. And then he says, I was a policeman. So what? You can't use that against us. I'm not scared of the police. The police are there to serve me.
But Steve Chan, who is representative of 320,000 constituents, you mean to tell me that he couldn't do something to help his constituents, which, by the way, in his district, somebody yesterday was found dead for who
In a
knows
mattress.
how long. Yeah, in a mattress.
In a mattress.
In a mattress. So you mean to tell me that Senator Stephen Chan couldn't help his
I'm telling
constituents?
you, Lester Chang is also a winner.
Well, this is what, we used to have elected officials
Can I
here
tell
that
you,
did things
you want
for
to be
us.
shocked something?
I wanna hear
There's
it.
a guy by the name of Bumi Hoshand that was on
I
my
heard
show.
the name, yeah.
Sawyer's husband,
Little
who we
guy.
beat. Right.
Yep.
They appointed him to the community board. And I spoke to the community board. I said, they said, he makes us crazy. I said, you promoted a guy to, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. They put a guy on the community board who said all Hasidic Jewish blood should run. He's on the community board. He's representing the Jews. This vicious Jew-hating
community board number
so
12,
I called the community board president. I said, I swear to you, when I become a councilman, you're all filed. You can't fire us. We'll go to court. I said, first thing I'm doing is I'm locking the building up. You're not coming in. You can sue me to try to get in, but that'll be the first thing, ladies and gentlemen. Walking into the community board, firing everybody and appointing new people. If you want just to have a fun show, elect me just for that.
I want to go back, though.
We have to start the show.
All right, let's start the show, but I do want to go back to this thing between Barsimian and
And we will. That's
Okay.
one of our topics.
We'll do.
I want to give a shout out to my beautiful granddaughter, Mira Nava.
favorite part of the show.
Leila Tamar.
All right.
Binyamin Hillel. My oldest grandson, Yeshua Ahuva, and my last beautiful, gorgeous granddaughter, Yael. Miriam, she's really opening the eyes. She's giggling, and my kid is having a great time.
Good.
But he says he's not sleeping, and I don't even care.
Wow.
I want to give you a quote.
And Sergeant Peter, by the way.
I forgot Sergeant Peter and Ellie. Sergeant Peter, I love you. You're the best.
Ellie Tamara, yep.
Here's my deal, guys.
All right.
This quote is because you're all nervous about Mamdani.
Yes, we are.
So I'm going to give you the quote, and then I'm going to tell you a story. Even in the darkest of the journey can lead us to the divine plan. Even in the darkest of times, the journey can lead us to the divine plan. God is in charge. There is a plan. Now, you understand President Trump was president, and then we all bitched and complained. So God took him away from us.
For 4
Even
years.
though they cheated for 4 years, and we suffered.
We did.
Okay, millions of immigrants. Prices skyrocketed.
Inflate wars.
Wars. Then God said, listen, now you learned your lesson. I'm giving you back the gift that I promised you. Appreciate the president you have. But you're right, the president can't really do much in New York. I want to be elected. I will stop Mamdani, but I don't believe Mamdani is going to win. Not for a moment, not for a second, and I'm going to tell you a story.
And tell us also, by the way, if you think that Mamdani is or is not going to win, give us a call, 646-974-1580. 646-974-1580.
Let's do the HeshyTishler.com show there. The HeshyTishler.com. Tell them.
HeshyTishler.com is where you can get your merchandise like I had on last week's show. And if you want to also give a donation, if you want to get involved with the campaign, HeshyTishler.com. That's your one-stop source for all of your Heshy Tishler information. Also, email him justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Make sure you drop us a line, and who knows, stop by the office and maybe we'll see you here
I'm
soon.
officially 6 donations away from total maximum funds, so I could use that to
Yes.
the
Yes, we can.
HeshyTishler.com site.
Good.
And I want you to know something, guys. I have the funding, but I want you on November the 4th. Everybody's promising to come. But if you don't come,
Yes,
we're going to
we're
have problems.
3 months away.
Come, guys. Sign up with me.
Sign
I
up.
had a young boy who sent me an email last
Yes.
night. He wants to come. Go ahead. Do your DP.
And,
Green
well,
Line.
no,
I'm gonna
for
do
you.
Green Line.
You do that.
Green
You
Line
do
Building
that.
Solutions. I helped somebody today with a vacate order. I helped somebody yesterday with a fire. I am helping somebody Friday with a sign
Yes,
off. I'm helping Sunday.
718-871-0382. It's like the NFL when the referees move the chains. 718-871-0382. 202 Foster Avenue, corner of McDonald Avenue near the F train. Green Line Building Compliance. Stop by and tell Heshy you need his help.
I want to tell you something. 718-871-0382. We have parking in the back. Today I had a girls' school that is buying a building without a C of O. They have nowhere to put almost 400
and
girls.
now we need to go to DPH Property
400
Maintenance
girls.
Service. DPH Property Maintenance Service. 347-228-2625. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. DPH Property Maintenance Service. Give us a call. Your boy Anthony Finkel's in that chat. 10 years service of excellence since 2013. Continue with the girl story now. We can
You
move
see,
along.
Tom is being paid by the, not by me. That's why he's sticking
It's not
up.
George Sarantopoulos that's paying. I can tell you that much.
He's not paying you
He's
nothing.
not paying nothing.
Anyways.
He's paying our former enemy, you might want to
right,
say.
Aaron, the lawyer.
Who?
But I want you to know that girls' school has 400 kids. They got a building. There's nowhere to put them in a month. And I'm going to get that building C of O and put them in. And,
Good.
and that's what I do. From construction to overseeing, call a Green Line Building Solutions. But it's not only that, call me.
718-871-0382.
Right. So I want to just tell you a story.
All right. I want to hear it.
like I told you that even in the darkest of times, the journey can lead us to divine plan.
Mm-hmm.
So there was, during World War II, the Holocaust, there was a young girl floating in the streets in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady, this Polish nice lady, saw the girl. She went over to her, and it was like a little kid, maybe about 4 years old, 4 years old. And she grabs the kid off the street, and she knew the kid was Jewish. And she took the kid into her house. She named her Paula, and she raised her like a regular Polish Christian girl.
Okay.
Just like that.
All right.
The war ended, and the girl was in her 20s, and her mother died.
I'm sorry.
When her mother died, a friend of her mother's came over to her and said, "Listen, Paula, you're not really her daughter. You were found on the street, and I want to give you this necklace that was found on you. Your mother told me to hold it till after she dies to give it to you." And it was a necklace with a Jewish word on it.
Okay.
So Paula didn't know what to do with it, so she went to 2 Jewish men in town, and the 2 men went over to her and said, "This says name Devorah. It's a Jewish word, a Jewish name."
Well, we know Devorah.
Devorah, right. So they put she took the locket, and she did some research, and she found out that she was a Jew.
Wow. Very nice.
But her whole family was killed out during the war. So she decided that she was going to go to Israel. She went to college, and she became a doctor.
Wow.
There was in many years ago, there was a blow up in one of the restaurants, a bomber who blew up in the restaurant, Sabaro's sandwiches.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a bunch
yeah, I
of
know
kids
Sbarro's
got
sandwich.
killed,
Yeah.
and a lot of people
Awful.
got injured. So they started bringing him in the emergency room, and Devorah was on call that night.
Oh, wow.
And in comes a old man crying and screaming, I'm looking for my granddaughter, I'm looking for my granddaughter. And Devorah sees him while he's crying, says, I'll help you look for her. Maybe I treated her. And they looked all around, and they found this young girl. And Devorah reunited the grandfather with the girl, and Devorah starts looking at the young girl's necklace. Mm-hmm. And it was a very unique necklace, the one that she wore.
Wow.
And it said Devorah on it.
What a small world.
And she looks at the grandfather and says, where did you get this necklace from? The grandfather said, there's only 2 of them in the whole world ever made. I made them.
Whoa.
And she looks at the man. She says, what do you mean? She says, before the war, I was a jeweler, and I made one for my beautiful daughter, Devorah, but she was lost in the war. And when I survived the war, I came to Israel, I remarried, and I had another daughter, and this is my granddaughter, Devorah, that I made this necklace for. And then Devorah, the doctor, takes out a necklace, says, this is my necklace. And they looked at each other and they figured out that she was this old man's daughter that survived.
Wow.
And she was reunited.
What a story.
Even in the darkest of times, the journey can lead us to the divine plan. It's dark, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming out of it.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of Mamdani. You have the power not to vote him. I didn't tell that story to scare you. I gave you inspiration. You know, everybody goes through tough times. I go through tough times. You go through tough times. People lose parents. Linda is struggling now. She lost her mother, and I have another guy in the psych ward. People struggle. Mental health is an issue. Being poor is an issue. People losing their money. People losing their houses. We have to try to help one another. You know, this Friday I was assigned. Usually I'm off on Fridays, only for my office work, and then I do some volunteer work. That the Bikur Cholim told me I have to be 1 o'clock at a house to pick up food. This private family makes food for people.
Okay.
And then I have to pick it up because there's no driver to take it to a Holocaust survivor.
Wow.
Then I have to go to another house, pick up that food, and take it to Benson's to another Holocaust survivor.
Wow.
I can't wait to meet them because I'm going to interview them and talk to them.
Well, that's going to be great. By the way, we do have some people here in the chat. Your very good friend Daniel Sweet wants to say, Heshi, I'm in your corner for over 10 years. You need to win.
12 years.
He says over 10.
Okay, he doesn't know. He's old.
Benny Kleinberger wants to say,
I love
hi,
Beryl. It's not
Heshi.
Benny Beryl. He doesn't know. Again,
He says Benny Kleinberger.
He doesn't know his own name. He's
Hi,
Beryl.
and he spelled your name wrong. He says, I'll see you, Shabbat, love you.
I see him every
And
Shabbos.
Anthony Finkel's here, by the way.
You know, he screams at me every week, this guy, Benny. Oh, you buy the cheap liquor. You drink the cheap liquor, you bum.
Well, you know what? He's here in the chat. Maybe he's drinking that liquor now.
I bet he is. He's a delicious man.
Yes.
I want to tell you my joke.
All right. I want to try to laugh here.
It's really funny. This is a true story. I
No
was
pressure.
driving home from work. I was on Ocean Parkway, and they pulled me over. Okay,
No.
and right over there when I made the turn, and the cop comes out. I said, "What's wrong?" He says, "You weren't wearing your seatbelt." I said, "That's what you pulled me over," and he gave me a ticket. 3 days later, I made the same turn. Cop runs over and pulls me over again. I said, "What happened?" He says, "You're still not wearing the seatbelt." He says, "Have you not learned your lesson by now?" I said, "I did. I have to find a new way home."
That was a good one.
That was fun. And
That
he's
was
still
actually
not
good.
laughing. You bet to the producer.
Well, maybe he just was.
He fell asleep again.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't want to do that. There he goes. See, he was laughing. He was waiting to give you the biggest burst of laughter he's
No,
ever
after I
given.
had to beg for it. I don't have to beg for my laughter.
No, he really was laughing because he gave me a special signal telling me that he was waiting
Oh,
for the
please. He
punchline.
gave you his finger. Anyways,
He was going to flip me off if I didn't say it.
I want to tell you something.
All right.
We're going to talk first the local politics.
I wanna
George
talk about
Sarantopoulos.
Yes.
We helped him get elected.
We did.
He's now the Republican nominee, and then they challenged him.
Yes.
So now they did a recount. I want to show you how corrupt the system is because you people don't believe me. He did a recount. The other side lost, gave up the Conservative Party. I have no problem with Richie Simeon. He's the chairman, and he lost.
Yes.
So now they challenge him. Now everybody's spending money. George is spending money. Richie's spending money, but I guess he's getting money from the Republican Party, which he has no right to.
I didn't even had any money.
Right, he had no money. So anyways, he's getting support. And then you have Stephen Chan, a senator, showing up. What's he so busy with a local election when he should be taking care of the people because he has nothing? And then he says, I was a cop. You're a cop. You're given the privilege to serve us. You are a cop that we are allowing you to have work for us, and we're going to give you honor because you accept this position. Of course, we love you like a judge or a rabbi, but it's your job to serve us, not to be a bully and boss us around.
So his reason of being there is what? To try to influence this recount?
Yeah.
That's
the
elite.
recount went along,
Right.
and Mr. Sarantopoulos, George, is ahead by 15 votes.
Okay.
They get to the last box to choose, the last ED to close. So, of course, before they open it up, they have to tell you there's 30 votes in there, 50 votes,
Right.
and the original count was 15 to 1, 20 to whatever it was.
Right.
So they open up the last box, and right before they open it up, it's supposed to be 66 votes, 36 to 30.
Right.
When they see the number, they see 89 votes. Somebody stuffed extra 23 votes in there.
No.
Yeah. It's not possible. So something is wrong here that somebody stuffed. Now it gets worse. While they were counting the votes, they found 3 dead people on it.
That I saw in the New York Post.
It was in the New York Post and the Times, and it gets better. 2 private ballot people said we never filled out those ballots. They were older people. Somebody came and asked us. We told them no, and we never filled it out. They were called. So somebody, first of all, 5 votes have been cheated that we know about.
Right.
And number 2, that even if the 23 votes exist, you know, theoretically, mathematically, not all 23 votes can go to Richie Bar-Simeon.
No.
Okay. So basically, Richie has to win 15 to tie. And out of those last 8, he has to win at least 4 more if the other guy doesn't win 4.
Yeah. So out of the
It's
20...
not mathematically possible to happen. That means if Richie gets all 23 of those final votes, there's a problem.
So out of these 23 votes, he's got to get essentially 20 votes to win.
Correct.
So the question is, where did these votes come from?
Right. And how do we know that's 20 to 3? I mean, it's like impossible what we're even counting for. I'm showing you like Carmen Yeager cheated.
Well, I go back to our race, we were on the other end of where George is 2 years ago because you had won the vote on election day, and going into absentee ballots, we were down 21 votes or whatever it was.
20. We were supposed to have a recount.
Right. We were in that point, but then all of a sudden there were these absentee ballots of names we never recognized before, and they came out.
And I don't know where those other ballots came from.
And the chairman at the time was saying that he was confident because, quote unquote, in his words, there were votes in friendly territory. Well, how would you know what those votes look like because those people hadn't voted?
Right.
So in this case, it seems like the shoe is on the other foot. And this guy, Bar-Simeon, he's trying to steal the election from George Sarantopoulos because George Sarantopoulos, on top of this, was on election night when we were there. He was up 32 votes. A week later, he was up 46 votes. Then another week later, all of a sudden, he goes from 46 votes to 14 votes, and now he's up 15 votes. And now you're telling me and everybody else listen to this.
It's a game when you have the power. And also, the Conservative Party agreed that Bar-Simeon lost, and they took away his line.
But that tells you the Conservative Party gave the line to Sarantopoulos, but Bar-Simeon's the chairman, and he's still in the race. So are they both sides in cahoots to try to throw the race away? Because this is the only open seat in Brooklyn where theoretically a Republican has a chance to get elected.
Right.
And it seems to me like right now that the chairman of the party, this guy Bar-Simeon, he seems to be trying to do everything he can to throw the race away. He hasn't spoke about this race. He hasn't said one word. Right. He hasn't said anything about this race.
He didn't do no debates. He didn't go out to meet the people. He just thought as chairman he's going to win like my competitor Simcha Felder. Can I ask you, did you see him?
I haven't seen him since maybe Joe Biden was
He
president.
didn't even show up for an event that he promised to go to for the special needs kids. I was supposed to go to that baseball game, but I was busy yesterday helping somebody get out of a hospital. I really wanted to go. I got back at 7:16, and the game started at 5:30. I said, even if I show up at the game, it's 8 o'clock. I'm not going to go late to a game, even though last year they let me announce at the game 1 inning.
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
It was very good. I wanted to go, but I just couldn't make it, and I'll make it something up when I get. But again, servicing my community is more important to me than anything in the world.
I agree.
Mamdani.
Let's talk about him.
He's going to lose. Now, I know you sent me a poll. Here's the poll, ladies and gentlemen. Mamdani has 39% of the vote.
39%. Cuomo has 21.
And Sliwa has 18. But
Adams
again,
at 9.
I think Sliwa had 23 last time I counted.
No, we were at 20.
And then Adams is dead. Yeah. Is this poll right? Usually polls are wrong.
I mean, I think the thing that I've seen consistently is that
Adams is last.
Adams is last, but the 3 candidates, Cuomo, Sliwa, and Adams.
This is not close. I thought they were all 20%.
They add more votes together to outweigh Mamdani, but because
But
they're
Mamdani was at 26%. How did he get to 39%?
that's a question you'd have to ask a pollster. But what I'm seeing consistently, regardless, is that these three candidates are all splitting the vote, and Mamdani could skate in there because of
So
that.
you don't need 50% of the vote to win the mayoral
No,
election.
if there's four candidates and there's four of them right now running, you could win with 30%. Listen, you talked about this
Yeah.
several times on
Yeah.
the show. That's why Sliwa thinks he can win this because he got 28%
With this
last time.
new poll, it upsets me because I thought Lee was on the street. He's getting a lot of free publicity. He has no money, but I thought Sliwa had at least 22 to 28%.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. Now Cuomo is telling everybody he's moving to Florida.
Well, oh yeah, did you see that? If Mamdani wins, you know what? I hate Mamdani. I don't want him to win, but maybe it's worth it just so get rid of Cuomo from our state would be worth it. Florida's not going to take him anyways. You heard what DeSantis said. But I heard another person sued him and won.
Yeah, $450,000 here. It was a former aide, Brittany Comissio. And this was a lawsuit that was filed originally in late 2023, and last week the state settled the lawsuit with her for $450,000.
The city paid for Cuomo's legal fees in the millions to defend himself against sexual harassment.
Yep.
Lindsey Boylan got a settlement.
Yep.
Now this lady got a settlement. We're spending money on this guy, millions, and you want to make him mayor. 21% of you idiots are going to vote for him? Why are you going to vote for him?
We were talking about this.
He's not
before
trustworthy. He's not going to help you. He's a Jew hater. He's a hater of everybody.
There are people, though, that like that. I mean, we were talking about this. You asked me before the show, and you said, Tom, why do you say that Cuomo has the best chance of these candidates? I say because there are Democrats out there that liked some of the things Cuomo did. Not that I didn't. I
didn't do nothing right.
Me too. I agree with you on that. But there are people that liked how he handled COVID.
Because they stayed at home, collected PPE money. We were talking today every Wednesday.
I know. You and I were actually during COVID. We had to go out and work every day.
Today we had a lunch. I do every Wednesday a lunch for my staff and some jokes. We talk about it. And during lunch, we were telling people, we're saying, why didn't you get government money? Me and Penny, we paid our workers during COVID. We had our slush fund. We had our extra monies that we always have for protection.
Right.
And we took no money from, everybody says, why didn't you take money from the state and in the country? Because we didn't want to be investigated. We didn't want to be accused of anything. And we feel that our workers should be paid by us and us alone. But again, a lot of people did some big things. Did I tell you that I'm taking the LSTAT August 7th again?
No, you did not, and I would love to know for our audience.
I got accepted. I am going to. I started studying a little bit. There was a practice test somebody sent me. I'm scared to see the score, but I'm going to take another practice test.
Okay.
And then I'm going to check the two scores, what I really can accomplish. But I think I did great the first time, and I'm going to do great again.
Too. By the way, I got to give a shout out to one of our friends, Mr. Josh Bailey, who, believe it or not, got Omnuns delivered to his house.
Oh my God!
He's on 69th Street, right off 4th Avenue. And
they delivered all the way there.
He got it.
He paid extra money for that.
He went there Monday, and he said it was the best pizza he's ever had.
I love you, Josh. I love you. It is the best pizza. It is. When I
and I told him we'd show up. He was like, no.
Omnuns is open already by 10, 11 o'clock. I'm waiting for that slice. People say, you're eating pizza for breakfast? No, babies. 11 o'clock already is very brunch for me, okay?
Well, Josh was saying when he went there, the line was like fanatical. He said he couldn't believe it. He was really into it.
It's so fresh and beautiful.
He loved it. He said
melts when I don't know about when he gets home how it tastes, but right there when it comes out of that oven, wow.
Well, he went there and said it was great. It was great. He loved it. But also, I got a comment here from Benny. Benny Kleinberger says, he talks about the mayor's race, and he says, who should we vote for? And that, I'm struggling with that question myself.
See, I understand during the primary that you're a Democrat, you have to vote Democrat, Republican, you have to vote Republican. Here, the field is open. Vote for anybody you want. You want to vote Sliwa, you got to vote Republican. Even if you believe he's not going to do the job, let's talk. Mamdani, forget that he's a socialist.
He called Jeffries a Islamophobe.
He wants to defund the police. Okay, let's say he defunds the police. He wants to close prisons. Where are we putting those prisoners? We have 4,700 correction officers in New York who can't control the prisoners now. You want to abolish prisons? That means let's get rid of all the prison guards. Where are we doing with these prisoners? We're going to send murderers and rapists home. I understand.
Maybe he wants to build prison shelters.
I got you. Or home confinement. These guys will escape and rape. You know,
No.
like that migrant who was released twice, deported twice.
Yep.
According to the Biden thing, he was released again back because of these courts, and he raped again.
Or how about last summer with the migrant and killed the woman in Coney Island?
Yeah. Or the migrant that killed the young girl over there in Texas by the border.
We talked a lot about that. No, I think what it's coming down to Benny's point, is that, I mean, I like Adams, but it seems like he's dead in the water. So
I like Adams,
Sliwa
but the
might
problem
be a better
is
choice.
Sliwa is the better choice.
I just feel like
you know why I don't like Adams?
Why?
Because he had his 4 years, and I didn't see nothing great. He allowed
He's been
them,
praising Trump, though. Swila's
I
not.
got you, because he's changing his attitude. See, Trump did run a good presidency. He just gave up a little bit because he wanted the Democrats to screw himself. Adams did not run a good mayoralship. Now he came back because he feels his idea is to be a Trumpy. But the truth of the matter is, he had nothing that he can show me that he excelled in. Now he's trying to do the special needs schools. Now he's giving extra money for after-hours programs. What happened to the first campaign when you went over budget?
Well, I talked about this repeatedly. I've had disagreements with him.
Firing sanitation workers, not giving them money
and the tickets.
for COVID.
How about with the tickets? All the fees earlier in the year with the compost.
Yeah.
They were actually in my neighborhood. They were out Saturday morning, and they were giving people. They weren't giving them tickets, but they're giving them warnings, because guess what? They're restarting the fines and fees. Oh, conveniently, get this, in November.
Yeah.
So if Adams loses, get this, you're going to be fined if you don't put out these stupid composting brown bins. So really, yeah, listen, Adams
I'm
to
not
me.
putting out the brown bins. I don't care. I'm going to fight the tickets, but again, not everybody can do it.
But we know Emperor Mamdani. If he's elected, he's gonna make him skyrocketing fees. But
Right.
that's
Well,
what it comes down to. Is Adams could have been a good mayor, but I think he had too many things. And
Right, they put some guy, Yankee Indig or something over there in the mayor office of Hasidic Jew. And he's the one who appointed Bumi Hoshander. Why? Because he's preparing himself to be, if a Mamdani win. This religious Hasidic Jew is going to continue working for the Democratic next mayor if it's Mamdani. I would quit right away. How could you work for a socialist, Jew-hating, lying pig? And again, he's... I don't know what to tell you about Mamdani. There's no reason you people are voting for him.
But what it comes down to then is, by what you're telling us, process of elimination, Sliwa would be the only choice.
The only candidate. Cuomo is a 0. Mamdani's a 0. If Adams has a chance, you can vote him. He now has experience. Sliwa doesn't
But
have
these
the
polls,
experience.
he's not moving. He's
Yeah.
just not moving.
I
don't know.
Do you know that the UNESCO, the United Nations Special Coordinating for Middle East Peace Process, Trump shut them down.
After the way you just read that, I'm pretty glad that they shut that down.
Yeah. And just like he shut down the other one, the USAID.
Yes.
These guys are getting billions and billions of our dollars, and they're doing nothing for it. They're hybrid. We're finding out that they're working for terrorist groups. And
Horrible.
these people are like Jade now. You are against the tariffs.
I am
As
against the
you see,
tariffs.
you're right. We thought that everybody's going to jump in. So they are fighting Trump on the tariffs. But you saw the deal he made with Japan?
19%. No, it was 15.
They have
and
to pay us,
Indonesia-
and we pay them nothing.
Right. It's Japan's 15, and Philippines and Indonesia's 19.
Vietnam, we pay nothing.
Well, Vietnam.
Okay, but Vietnam is starting to be like China now. China's pushing all their goods that way. I'm telling you now, you're right. He can't do it all at once. And I believe supposedly this week I heard that there'll be a deal between Russia and Ukraine.
Well,
So
wait
and you have a
4
ceasefire
years.
in place,
Wait.
and Israel almost has the whole Gaza done. I'm telling you, under Trump's
Speaking
first
of
year,
which, on Israel, real quick, did you hear about what's going on with Netanyahu and the government there? That there was a whole thing with seats being changed last week. Did you hear something?
Oh no.
That his party's technically in there was a bunch of seats that were in his coalition. They actually left, and then there's another part which controls 4 seats. They left his government, but they're staying in for now. But if they leave, Netanyahu's in the minority and they have to call an election.
They have to call election.
So what do you think about that with Netanyahu?
In Israel, every 2 years there's an election. It's even like you saw what happened in Great Britain. You had a prime minister. 2 months later, they threw her out. 3 months later with the MPs. It's a crazy thing. That's why I like the American system. You get elected. You're there 4 years. I don't like the 2-year elections. You put them in power for 4 years. Term limits after 2 years. Everybody says, but how do you have a senator like Schumer that's there for 30 years?
Oh, that I agree
who
with
does
you
nothing? You have a senator, you have a congressman like Nadler who's a Jew-hating self. I saw him at a wedding.
He's been in office for 30 plus years.
And he's done nothing. Tell me what he's done
I
besides
don't know.
try to impeach Trump.
He's just a bad man.
Yeah.
Speaking of people I want to say hello to is JDL 613 Brotherhood.
I like him, yeah.
He wants to say that is capo behavior to want to work for Mamdani. Sadly, a lot of Jews are like that, and it baffles the mind. I
Well,
agree
you
with
better
him.
make sure you JDL guys that you're going to come on 40 people on election day. I need 40, 50 people. I want to be at the poll site.
And by the way, if you want to give us a call still, if you're out there, 646-974-1580. Give us a call, 646-974-1580 on the Just Enough Heshy Show with Tom and Heshy. By the way, Heshy, I got to mention two things here because you said, you can mention it. I want to take the time to mention the fact that Malcolm Jamal Warner, famously Theo Huxtable of The Cosby Show, passed away.
What is The Cosby Show? It was a very good family show.
And then before Bill Cosby went into his problems.
Right. We all loved Bill Cosby. We liked his comedy. He was clean. He
Before
was nice.
what we found out about him.
Again, look at Jeffrey Epstein, a multi-billionaire or billionaire, whatever it is. And now they want to release his files. They don't want to release his files. Trump is in there. Obama is in there. Clinton's in there. They're all in there.
Talk about that, but he passed away. He drowned in a freak accident in Costa Rica.
He didn't drown. Oh, Theo.
Malcolm Jamal Warner. He's 54.
I did like Malcolm Jamal. I like him.
He also acted on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did a number of other TV shows. And also, I got to mention, because it meant a lot to me, and some people in the chat, I think, will certainly want me to mention it. Ozzy Osbourne passed away yesterday.
I liked Ozzy. I know he was
kind of like you. You're like the Borough Park version of Ozzy.
See, I remember Ozzy when he was Kiss with the makeup done there.
Well, he was Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. I mean, whatever.
They didn't do makeup too much.
I thought he had makeup.
That was Kiss who did makeup.
Kiss who did
and
makeup.
by the way, Kiss is Jewish, by the way.
Yeah, I
Gene
know.
Simmons and Paul Stanley both from
but I remember Ozzy didn't have makeup. He didn't hide
Well, he
himself.
kind of did, but he famously tried to eat a bat.
Right. But
you haven't tried that yet?
I remember in yeshiva we all liked Black Sabbath. I don't even know why.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely an influence, and obviously the Osbournes.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do the Tishlers? The Borough
They
Park
should.
version?
They should follow the Tishlers. About when I get elected, I'm gonna have a real reality show. It's gonna be called The Councilman.
Well, I hope to see that, and I guess again, my
You're
thoughts.
Follow me. I'm gonna have the camera follow me all day long. You guys are gonna have a great laugh.
And my thoughts and prayers to Ozzy and his family and fans. But go ahead, continue.
This guy Mohammed Khalil.
Yes, I heard about
Now
him.
he's suing Trump for $20 million. Now here's my problem. The guy, they want to deport. They wanted to deport Zohan Mamdani. Now you can't deport a man who became a citizen for no reason. That he is supporting the Hamas. Now you're right. If you support, and we see that you're supporting a terrorist group, but if somebody says, "Hey, I like some Hamas and I support them," you can't really deport somebody for saying something. Only if you see that he's giving money. Only if you see that he's doing it. So guys, stop wasting our time. Stop, that you guys are just trying to scare us. The newspaper's trying to scare us. This Mohammed Khalil, you went up and you created riots. You are allowed to come in the city.
Yeah.
And I think we should arrest him again. But you know what? He's not doing it again. He's so scared he's not doing it again. Why?
Because he knows he doesn't want to go back to jail.
Right. So he's suing Trump for he's not going to win the lawsuit.
By the way, speaking of things that I actually
and his people caused damage to Colombia.
I agree. Yes, and I noticed that Trump in Colombia started to change their tune a little bit.
Should change their tune. They've suspended a lot of those actors. I think it was 50 or 40 of them.
I saw that in the post today.
It was great.
It took them this long.
Well,
huh?
they're going to be losing tens of millions of dollars in support.
Well, speaking of things that I actually agreed with for a change where people were getting defunded for, I wholeheartedly supported Congress and the president wanting to defund PBS and NPR to the tune of $1.1 billion.
Public television?
Public radio, television.
Public radio.
NPR and PBS. They've been their viewpoint is so biased against
lately.
any.
and they're supposed to be free. But is it the like CNN, you have the policy of the station, Fox, you have their policy. Is NPR individual people making their own ideas, or is it the policy of the station, of the national?
I think they're all, but I think all of them. If you look at all these people that get hired, they constantly have the same viewpoint, the same echo chamber. So to me, and I was reading some of the stories and other places that published about it, but I look at it and say constantly, time and time again, for this isn't just a few years. We're talking about 20 years or more, that these companies, PBS, NPR, have been repeatedly anti anything Republican or conservative. Now, I'm all for different viewpoints to hear, but they constantly have the same
like
viewpoint.
CNN. I'm watching it, and it's like sickening the way they knock Trump and
It's
they're
an echo
wrong.
chamber. Yeah, exactly. It's not. They're supposed to be fair and balanced. What happened to these public television and public radio stations that were supposed to be informational,
I hate
educational?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
She's
Joy
a wacko.
Behar.
Joy Behar. I mean, these are supposed to be I don't know why
Rachel
people watch
Maddow.
them.
Yeah, they're all nuts.
I don't know why we're watching them still.
They have.
They used to be a fun show in the beginning, but
They
they're
have
not
TDS, Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
I want to tell you. I want to go back to Mamdani a little
Let's go
bit.
to Mamdani.
First of all, do you believe that? I mean, forget abolishing the prisons. Do you know that he also said that I'm going after the businesses in New York? Be warned, business owners.
Yeah,
I'm
we
coming
talked
after
about
you.
this last week. They had a meeting with him, and he basically said, "Listen, I'm going to raise the taxes, and you're going to stay here, and you're going to do nothing
But
about
he's
it."
also going after them wise, like how they have to lower their prices, and like he's going to put them out of business.
But she doesn't understand that he'd have to go through the state for that.
I know.
Which is crazy.
I know, but whatever, he's going to try. So, again, here's another thing. Do you believe, everybody came over to me today and yesterday,
Yeah.
do you believe Obama's going to be arrested or indicted?
I don't.
Impossible. First of all, they used the president law, but even
Right,
so, I
yeah.
was being explained that the president law only comes into effect if it's stuff for the presidency or whatever. In this case, Obama suppressed evidence as the president to do treasonous effect, not to allow Trump into office after he won the election. So did Obama commit treason by trying to get Trump arrested on fake charges?
You know what? To me, this whole thing
It's stupid.
It's just, and then the whole thing with Obama.
You go after Obama, you go after Trump. But again, they did go after Trump. They made him suffer. Maybe they should go after Obama. Let him spend
I
some
think
of his
they
billions
should.
of dollars.
I got a couple comments, but I want to ask you something though. When it comes to Trump and Obama, you brought up Epstein a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
I do think that they should release these files.
They tried to release it. Now the judge said no.
But Congress doesn't even want to talk about it now. Johnson said they're all in recess now.
Yeah, you know what? You're all trying to say Trump was there. Trump was not
Steve
with
Bannon's
Epstein.
saying that if they don't release the files, Republicans are going to lose the House.
And they, okay, I hear I hear Jeffries and all the top Republicans, the Democrats, who have not come out to support Mamdani, are going to lose everything because when the election is over, they're going to see you a chicken. And if Mamdani loses, the Democrats are in big trouble for not coming out to support him.
I think the
If
Democrats
they don't come out to support him, a lot of the young voters won't
Well, I
come
think
out.
the Democrats do have problems, no question, with how to deal with Mamdani. But I got a couple comments. JDL613 wants to say Ozzy was actually a huge friend of the Jewish community when he played in Israel. When others boycotted Israel, he visited the Western Wall and dug into his family's Jewish history. His wife actually is Jewish. Her last name was Arden. And Black Beauty wanted to say Bill Nye on PBS teaching multiple genders.
I know. Do you know that there's a school? They were interviewing somebody in Congress, a teacher, and they said, "Do you think it's normal to sit with a child and teach them about adultery, a first grader?"
No.
And you know what she answers?
What?
I was a first grade teacher, and I have no problem sitting there and teaching adultery with a first grader.
And this is why
She
the
should
school
be shot
and
right
this is-
there.
And this is why the school system is the way it is.
Right. I believe that we should clear down these public schools. Fire these teachers, put everybody into private schools, or give them the money for going to charter and private schools. I'm not too happy about homeschooling. I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
Homeschooling is good, but you have to have a parent that has to be there. I tried the homeschooling. I tried to do the homework. It's complicated. You have to have a job. job, you have to have a living. You're gonna, a teacher's job is there. When you want to do homeschool, which means that you have to be consistent, there are no days off. You have to be a real teacher. You have to be there to do your curriculum. How are you going to do a full-time job as a mother and then go out to work in the business world and then come home and be a full-time? That's who's homeschooling, those smart people. A guy like me, I'm not the brightest on the planet. I'm not going to be able to homeschool. So what, you're going to home, and then when you're homeschooling, you're not playing with other kids.
I had 4 cousins of mine that did homeschooling.
And how'd they turn out?
2 of them turned out pretty good. 2 of them didn't.
So that's a 50% success rate, which
one
is
of them,
terrible.
he went and but from as a little boy, he wanted to be a fisherman. He became that. He was like, and the other one turned out kind of like me, but not as successful. The other 2 losers. So 50%. 50%.
It's not even good 50%.
No, it's more like 33 and a half or 40.
And I'm sure the house suffered and whatever.
Yeah, and by the way, somebody came in here, Shuffled wanted to say, absolutely sick what Barsimian and the Rhino establishment in Brooklyn is doing. I couldn't agree with them more. I could not agree with that comment more, because when you think about Barsimian, and I know you got district leaders now in the Tischler name, but to me, this is a man that is the chairman of the party. He should not have even been running for office to begin with. He should have been focusing on grooming.
Or he should have given up his chairmanship.
Where's the office? Where are the volunteers? Where is the money to begin with? An elected official like Stephen Chan, a freshman state senator, he has no business going out and trying to influence an election. He should be trying to help his poor constituents. He has 320,000 constituents that need his help. I go back to the times of when Michael Grimm was in Congress, Senator Golden. These were people in the majority. Even if you didn't agree with them, they weren't always good, but they were influencing to help their constituents. Guys like Stephen Chan, guys like Lester Chang, Michael Novikov, the pill popper Alec Bakrasny, Alec the pill popper Bakrasny, Alec the pill popper Bakrasny.
He was up there too. Now these guys are state senators,
assembly members. And how come they haven't passed a bill to help their constituents? How about them doing something where, other than them putting the same people that do the same things to kiss and backstab everybody else,
they're trying to kiss the chairman's thing, so he would
a guy who has no history, no nothing. An embarrassment, an abomination. That guy Barsimian, he should resign. He shouldn't even be anywhere near public office. But that's why nobody should get involved with the Republican Party in Brooklyn. That would be my.
I have no choice.
Well, that's why you get elected. You're going to change the world.
Yeah, I will.
Ozzy said, "I don't want to change the world." Well, Heshi, you are going to change the world.
I do want to change the world.
You are definitely going to do that, and you are going to ride that crazy train. You are definitely going to be saying, "I don't know, but how you're going to do it," but you are. And trust me, Mama Heshi is coming home to the city council with your support on November 4th. Don't ask me. I don't know how.
I was sitting with a bunch of guys. What was it? Last night? It was 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago. And I helped them out with their problems. And they said, "You can't be elected, Heshi. You're crazy." I said, "Well, you just hired me. You paid me a lot of money. I helped you like you never seen before. Why do you say I'm crazy?" "Well, because we don't think you'll be a good politician, but you hired me. You spent tens of thousands of dollars on me. You trusted me. Well, we checked you out. So now you checked me out. You still think I'm crazy?" "Well, yeah, because that's your specialty. You're very good at speaking. You're very good at meeting people. You could do it." I said, "That's dumb. I'm showing you that I can save your building. You're losing $2,000. They were losing $2,000 a day. And I saved them."
It's funny you said that, because last week after the show, I went out and helped a constituent over at the Borough Park Rehab Center. And one of the guys that was there, he goes, "Oh, I know Heshi. He's great. He always helps in the community, but I won't vote for him." For the same reason that you mentioned why people. But that's exactly the reasons why we need someone like you in the city council. Because that's what people, they've lost it.
It's not that I need you to vote for me, to be grateful to me. I see the again, the strife, the abuse, the unjust treatment to our people.
I agree.
It gets to me.
I agree.
Everybody says, "Look away, Heshi, go make money. Don't worry about these people." I can't. I try sometimes to look away. I try to get up late. I think of not showing up in the hospital. I think of not going to do volunteer work, and then I'm empty. And it's not because I'm empty because I have to do it and I didn't fulfill myself. I'm empty because nobody else picked up the slack.
And I think that that's an important thing. By the way, what do you think about Hunter Biden? What he had to say
He's
recently?
an idiot. Well, tell everybody, he's just an idiot.
But it was interesting how he went out and knocked George Clooney for saying that his father had 50 plus years of service, and for the audacity for George Clooney to take out an op-ed in the New York Times, and how he talked about ungrateful. He talked to basically saying that George Clooney was ungrateful for his father's service.
Do you know that George Clooney's wife is,
yeah.
What is he, Syrian?
Lebanese, right?
Lebanese? I thought Syrian.
Amal, right? I don't know.
Amal.
Maybe
I thought she was Syrian.
Maybe
Now,
Syrian.
the Syrian government is killing these Jews. You heard about that?
I did hear
They're
about
going in, they're abusing, they're shaving their beds, they're shooting them. So the Israelis, the Jews went to save them. Mm-hmm. Now, my point to you is why aren't you standing for the Palestinians, their rights? What about these Jews people? The Jews, these are your people, your Syrian people that are being abused. What about those Iranian people that are being beaten and raped and put into political prisons? But all you do is going against the Jews. So let me tell you something. Us little Jewish nation, we are powerful because God is with us.
I agree.
And people are saying, well, Heshi, you're in America, you're not in Israel, so God doesn't have to protect you. I live in a community that is just as powerful. You
I agree.
can come after us, police officers, army, presidents, mayors. We're not going nowhere. And I'm warning you, come after us. We'll be ready for you. And I can't give up. Don't you think I can just give up and run to Florida and you'll come visit me? You know?
1640 WJPR. Like Ozzy famously said, Heshy's not going away. He's not going away. By the way, you notice that Americans apparently, according to an article I read, are taking less vacations this summer. Have you taken a vacation yet this summer?
No, I need
Well,
one
you're
back.
one of those people.
My son takes lots of vacations.
I'm going to say no comment on that because he could cut our mics. But what do you think about that? Now, apparently, this article that came out says the reason that Americans are taking less vacations this year is because of inflation, is because of the increase in plane tickets, and something I have disagreed with you on, tariffs.
Hey, I like the tariffs. I think we're bringing in an income. You have to show a profit in America. We're cutting funding to other nations. I'm telling you, we're going to cut the deficit by $2-3 trillion over the next few
CBO
years.
yesterday confirmed $3.4 trillion. It goes up in 10 years.
Not going up, coming down.
Well, I don't know about that. I heard increase. And Black Beauty, by the way.
He said we're increasing the budget. But
the debt's going up $3.4 trillion.
It's not. It's coming down.
No, I disagree with you. And Black Beauty did want to confirm I was originally correct. Amal Clooney is Lebanese.
Oh, she's Lebanese?
Lebanese, yes.
Whatever it is, she still doesn't protect her people.
I don't even think she's like such a knockout. Like they rave about, oh my God, Amal Clooney.
Clooney got stuck with her, and that's it. He's not the brightest of people,
obviously.
anyways. He dated gorgeous women.
He did. Well, he had Stacy Keibler, who us know in wrestling was the best you could get. But speaking of things that are the best you can get, Heshi, Coke is now changing the way they make it.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, all right, tell me why.
I have no problem that they're using, and I like this JFK. RFK. I like what he's doing with the food supplements. I like what he's doing with the vaccines. Nobody's getting sicker. Nobody's dying.
Will it taste different, Coke?
Yeah.
How do you think?
I don't think it's going to change different. What, changing the sugar from one sugar to a sugar?
Well, it's going from instead of corn syrup, it's going to go to sugar.
Big deal. That's identical.
Well, we haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
You remember years ago when Coke
changed the recipe.
Well,
here it's just one sugar filler for the other sugar.
I'm gonna be very curious because I do drink a lot of soda.
Well, if we complain enough like they did last time, they came out with that. What was that Coke? Cherry Coke or something? Oh, the new Coke. People complained.
Yes,
they went back to
I
the
talked
old
about
Coke.
the new Coke. Yeah. By the way, speaking of things you've talked about, did you hear what's going on with Eric Menendez?
The Menendez brothers who killed their parents and
you've
served
talked
35
about wanting
years
them
in jail.
to get, potentially to get him out of jail, but now he's apparently very sick.
Right, but they're not going to let him out of jail if he's sick, but they're going to let him on a furlough thing that if and when they re-sentence him, he'll be out already, so he doesn't have to go back in to be released. But if he doesn't get the parole granted, he will have to go back to jail, even if he's sick.
Well, I think the parole hearings in a few weeks. It's
August 16th? Is it 16th or 22nd?
It's the 16th to the 23rd.
Something like that. Yeah, I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, so I don't know.
We're coming to the end of the show.
We have time for the radio listeners, but I did want to bring up one other thing here that I thought was interesting. What do you think about maybe the Kennedy Center Opera House being named for Melania Trump?
I love Melania Trump. Anything you want to give her, anything you want to
Now,
name
Melania
for
Trump,
her.
I'll take over Amal Clooney.
Oh, for sure. Melania Trump has done a lot of good. She's raised her son. Everybody knocked Barron Trump. She did a great job as a mother. Look what she's done. Donald has done a great job as a father, even though his sister doesn't stop coming after him. What's wrong with him? Or is his niece? Or is it the niece, right?
I think, is it the sister?
No,
Mary
I
Trump?
think it's the niece who's coming
Well,
after
maybe
him.
maybe he didn't give them money.
She's just, I don't know, she should have inherited or whatever. It's his niece, right? She wrote the book. And she doesn't stop coming after him. And everything she writes in that book is a lie. I don't see it. I've been following Trump's career over the last, since I would say when I was working I even worked for them in the late 90s.
Okay.
So you're looking over 30 years I've been involved with the Trump casinos, not involved, following
Trump
him.
Tower, Trump Hotel,
Tower. You watch him with his television show. You've watched him getting
Art of a
divorced.
Deal, yeah.
So you don't really see the Epstein, maybe whatever he did behind the scenes. But, the
They
bankruptcy.
say his ties with Diddy, but before we
No,
say...
I don't believe he was
Well,
in any
I do
Diddy
got to say
parties.
goodbye to our listeners. We're about to say goodbye to them. So thank you so much. 1027 NEW, also JBR 1640 AM, and also 620 WSNR. Thank you. We'll see
Thank
you
you
next
for
week.
listening,
And
guys.
Justin Parsley, by the way, my hall monitor on Sports Pie Radio, wanted to say he's just gotten here, better late than never.
Oh, you tell him he's fired.
No, he's not. We can't fire. He's a wrestler. He could come
Oh,
up.
he's a wrestler?
He could beat me up and beat you up too.
Oh, really?
He's a good wrestler. He's in good shape. He works out. He's a DJ too.
Oh, he's a
He could probably, maybe we should make him the producer in case the producer is sleeping on the job. We want to make him the producer.
Oh, he could kick the producers behind.
He could kick our behinds, but he did want to say hello. We like Justin, so we want to keep him happy. So
I want to tell you guys a public service thing before we go off the air.
Go for it.
The city has now, they aim to bring, this has already been going on for years,
Yeah.
to bring free Wi-Fi to thousands of low-income
I saw that in the Bronx.
households.
In the Bronx, right?
So I
Got
don't
that.
understand. Where are you getting this free Wi-Fi? Are we paying for it? Are the companies giving it to us? Will they raise the prices for us? If they can give them free Wi-Fi, why can't we give free Wi-Fi for the whole city?
You know what I don't get? I'll tell you what. Speaking of that,
Just build like de Blasio promised to build, Adams promised to build these. I have a Wi-Fi on my building that I gave to Optimum for free. So the community to get.
I'll tell you what I would rather see. I still don't get why underneath in subways and on bridges you don't get any signal.
I know,
Wi-Fi signal.
I know.
Why-
Some of the tunnels have those wires for a long time for radio when the FM and AM came out. So I know the battery tunnel on my phone works fine. The Lincoln Tunnel, my phone, they put these antennas in. You're right. Some of the places don't have it, but my phone works fine.
I would rather see something like that fixed underneath the subways or on the bridges because that does impact emergencies.
And I believe that we should have free Wi-Fi all over the city. We shouldn't have to pay. That comes out
Well,
to be.
I'm
another-
sure Mamdani, though, Heshi will figure that
All
out.
right,
though.
under
There's
Mam-
your guy, Mamdani. He'll figure that out. By the way, speaking of
Then
one
the
thing,
cable companies leave us and there'll be no TV.
that's true. I gotta mention one more thing about.
We'll only get Mamdani channel.
Well, I gotta mention one more thing. Trump wants to do. He's two things actually. He wants a capital tax ban. He wants to end the capital tax on
Okay.
home sales. I thought that's a good idea.
I agree.
I thought that's
and
good.
after a while, you shouldn't have to pay any more property tax. We paid for our house. We paid for our mortgages. We suffered 30 years. Now we fall behind in your taxes that you raise on our properties. You're going to foreclose on my house that I paid off that belongs to me?
And the other thing he wants to do is he wants to ban transgendered athletes to compete in the Olympics.
So
That's what
the
Trump wants
Olympics
to do.
now, yeah, I agree with that. And I heard now that the Olympics did ban some kind of a transgender. There was a transgender bending, I think. And
The way you said
know.
that, actually, that's why I'm glad we're off the radio here. We're glad Mr. Brenner, would have certainly maybe had a field day with that.
Oh, yeah?
Mr. Brenner.
What's wrong with transgender?
You said gender bender. That's why.
Oh, that's no good?
I don't know if I'd want to say that on the air, on the radio, but that's okay. You can
But
say
what's
it on
wrong with
YouTube.
gender bending?
Well, I would say it maybe a different way, but
It's not a dirty. Is it dirty way? I never knew that.
Well, I don't know. It's 2025, Heshi. But I do agree with your point, though.
I
more or
still
less.
believe in the right way. I still believe when you walk on the streets, don't walk around uncovered.
I think that's a no-brainer.
I still believe when you are to be more polite and try to be to do volunteer work. So I believe not to talk about sex in schools. So many things. thing. So don't think for a moment that I will ever be crass. Yes, I do say something bad about a woman when they act stupid. But it's like saying to a man, F you as well.
I got one more thing for you before we sign
Yeah.
off tonight. We were talking about this and you weren't sure where to go with this. They want to end the penny, per production of the penny.
I don't know why, but you're right. It costs 13 cents to make one penny.
$13.
No.
Yes, I got it here from yesterday.
So then how much does it cost to make a nickel?
Well, apparently that's what they're trying to figure out, because last year the government made 3.2 billion pennies and it lost $85.3 million on them. And there's a bill apparently now in Congress to get rid of the nickel.
You know what? First of all, do you really ever give out pennies?
I haven't given out a penny.
Right. I got like some change I put in the coin. Nickels, I don't really use either. Dimes, I don't. It's quarters. Quarters is what all the machines take today.
So on that sense,
machines.
then we would have to round everything off.
Again, a penny, really, 91 cents. First of all, today, when you write a check, you can write it for the full amount.
Yeah.
Today, you have Zelle, so you can send
Yes.
the 91 cents that way.
Yep.
So between Zelle
Venmo,
and
PayPal,
all that,
yeah.
right? So why do you need a penny? Most people pay that way. I pay with cash. And when you're paying with cash, most of the time, it's
Yeah.
$11 to
Mostly I
$14.
pay cash as well. I'm
Right.
not a big believer.
So if
in
there's a
credit card.
change, you round it up. Yeah, you round up to the highest penny, 4 cents, 3 cents.
I think the
or you
pennies.
round it
I
down.
think the pennies definitely go. I think Trump already wants to end the penny production of it, and the nickel. I'm sure it's going to cost us money that we
If we
probably
can
could
get rid
use.
of the penny, nickel, and dime, then only quarter, I think it's good.
Oh, it's definitely interesting.
If it can save us a $500 million,
well,
I'm in.
I don't know if
Use
it's
it to
$500
feed
million, but like I
why,
said,
$85 million alone
lost-
is
so we
going to
lost
save us
85 a year.
on the penny. Let's calculate that you'll save the same 85 in the nickel,
I think we're-
and you'll save the same 85 on the
I'm
dime.
going to say nickels and dimes if you put them
Forget
together.
the money you're going to save. You're going to even save on the production of it, the time.
Well, Black Beauty's got a point on this. It's a sign of uncontrollable inflation if we eliminate coins.
I'm not taking away the value of the coin. Do you ever hear anybody really walking around with change in their pockets?
No, not really. Also, Daniel Sweet, before we go, says need dimes to have signs to be for business. I know we're off
What?
time.
Need
but
dimes for what?
We need dimes to have signs to be for. I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's time that producer play that music. Thank you,
that
everybody, for
music,
tuning into the
producer.
Justin and Heshi Show with Tom and Heshi. We will see you next week. Plenty to talk about. Mayor's race, Trump, Epstein. Give us a call next week, 646-974-1580. And just